I'd like to know the requirements that are being placed on this 4th Street zoning. 22 units, 31 spaces, that's extra spaces, whether they rent them or purchase them. I'd like to know, why aren't some of these parking requirements for the community, et cetera, extended to these larger corporations like the Homewood Suites that's built, the new hotel that's getting ready to be built further down 4th? What is the commission thinking with regards to parking with the larger corporations and not requiring them to have separate spaces that are, you know, niched out for the community, or they can purchase or rent? What, I mean, this is a much smaller project, but we discussed Homewood Suites tonight in the past, and they're having only 88 parking spaces for 100 and some people. The other new hotel that's going down on 4th, Homewood Suites, 197 rooms, 88 parking spaces, and none for anybody but guests. So why are do you all think about having these things niched out for the larger corporations like we seem to have for these smaller projects?
So I'll speak to the Homewood Suites because that's in our area. So the Homewood Suites is, any sort of commercial party is only required to have a certain amount. And I always push for that is probably the highest amount they're required. That said, Homewood Suites is not residential. You're gonna have people come and go, have no cars.
But you all fight for the community, so it should be fought from the aspect of you all fighting for the residents, because they're coming into our community. So it shouldn't be just, oh, thank you for coming. No, they should give, parking is a problem in the entire city, so it should be considered.
As Dr. Baca has emphasized, Dr. Baca doesn't have to do anything. This is also the bottom line. So Homewood Suites got to provide some parking, right?
But they said specifically tonight it would be for guests only.
Correct,
He
absolutely.
said it.
Absolutely,
Because
that
I
is
asked
what, that's right, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
This is entire, you can't even compare, this is very special. All that Dr. Baca has to give the community is 9 parking spaces.
I understand, but I'm not asking about him, I'm asking the commission. Why wouldn't you all ask or fight for parking with Homewood Suites and the hotel that's getting ready, that you all discussed further down 4th that's coming? I understand this, and I'm saying you all as a commission, why won't you all fight for the spaces at the larger projects that have more room to give more space? Why couldn't
The
you?
hotel
For the
on K and 4th,
Mhm.
they've arranged for 170 some odd parking spaces at different locations within 500 yards or something like
Okay.
that. So, but those are theirs for their guests at their hotel.
Right.
If people want to rent those in the community, they can go right to those same parking things and
Yeah,
rent for
that's
themselves.
just one example, but there's several being built, and I remember a couple of
Yeah,
months
they're all
ago,
using
there were
basically-
only a few, and that was still being debated what was going to, so I'm just saying it for the sake of everyone in the community. The small projects shouldn't be the only ones fighting to give us spaces. The larger corporations have more money and more space. They should be giving up some also.
So go back
That's
to
my
Homewood
point.
Suites, like,
That's
let
my
me,
point.
let me just say, so as the general manager was here tonight, it might wash that he'll find, you know, next September, you know what, I'm only having 30 people come and go average, right? And what's he gonna do with 50 spots?
That's a
right?
big if though.
Exactly.
I
A
want
big
you
if.
all to fight. That's
So,
all I
exactly,
mean.
so,
Yeah.
because they're right there and
Sure.
you never know what might happen, he might go, you know what, let's rent some spots
Sure.
on Saturday.
And he may not, so I'm
And he
just
may not,
asking
yeah.
the commission to consider the larger projects and fight for us to be able to use their spaces that may just be sitting, just like you mentioned for this party, may be sitting, may not, people may come. The larger projects have more space, more money, it's more resources that can be used for the
And
entire
it's important
community.
to note that the commission on some occasions has opposed zoning relief
based on the lack of parking, based on insufficient parking.
But
We
in the
completely
last
oppose
7
the
months,
standard
I've watched
hotel
all
zoning.
these hotels come in this, and
No,
they're
you're
not
you're
enough
You're
spaces.
mistaken. The
They're not
zo-
enough spaces.
If you had been present for the discussion and the vote on the standard hotel, the People's Project over at Fifth and I,
That's
this
only
commission
one.
actually voted
That's only one.
against
That's only one.
supporting the zoning relief for the
You're
project
right,
basis.
that was
Yeah,
one.
so, but every case has to be judged on
So,
its individual
Going
basis.
back and redoing the
Absolutely.
permits is now gonna take an extra 2 years for
But
them
that's
to
one
begin the
project.
building.
Absolutely.
So
that's
that, now
fine.
we're stuck with a parking lot
Yeah.
that nobody wants.
Yeah, but we're not talking about parking lot, I'm talking about new hotels being built with not enough parking, and they're having
Well, that's
all these
what I'm
rooms, and
saying.
then these people are gonna overflow into the streets, and these are the streets that the community has to deal with, and they
And
can't.
Where do you live in the community?
I worship at 401 New York Avenue, historic landmark, 109 years, so I
But do
have
you
a-
live in this
I
neighborhood?
don't live in the neighborhood.
Do you live in Maryland?
I live in Maryland. I do.
Thank you.
But I am here on the behalf of First Tavern.
So they're part of my
You're
area, and I
Absolutely.
You're
respect
welcome to
their.
be here.
Absolutely, I'm here representing.
So, one last
that
question.
historic landmark.
Okay, so.
I just want to say that we are really excited that you are building. I do not want this to come off in any way negative. And I know you have the right to build 11 units and then do the 9 units parking, and no one would ever oppose that, by the way. If you wanted to just go back to those smaller units, we
It would be
would
far
support
less
you.
parking than that.
I'm just saying,
Or
it's
one
one less.
for-
We would support that because we would want that built. I'm just saying, there's goodwill in the neighborhood. If you're gonna go bigger than what you're allowed, if you're gonna double the capacity, people are concerned.
As of September, zoning is not gonna require one space, none. No parking is gonna be required
It's
for
still
a
better than
hotel.
having nothing developed, so I just know as a
So
community,
keep in
people
mind
would be
that
happy with
if
that.
the doctor chooses to wait till after September, he doesn't have to put one space in.
I
That's
understand
gonna be
that.
the new law.
I understand, I'm just
So-
saying, there's
Okay,
goodwill,
sir.
we would
So
like.
Commissioner Nigro,
So we're gonna
did you want to
table,
make a motion to table this?
yeah, I'm gonna motion that we
Factual
table.
inquiry, no speech. How many units of what size?
Oh, the unit mix,
Yeah.
it's going to be 4 studios, 11 one-bedroom, 4 two-bedroom, and 3 three-bedrooms. That's it.
And no residential parking.
No,
Correct.
we're over parking the site in order to.
Yeah, got it.
So that would be part of the agreement.
But I
Right.
just wanted to be clear, we'll come back with an LOI. I don't know if Ron will be, if everyone's seen the plans, I probably won't re-present the plans, just make sure.
Okay.
Everyone
Great.
get to see you again?
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah, we'll do the story.
All right, so I motion that ANC 60 table the vote for 12/12 to 12/18 4th Street into the March 1st meeting.
Second. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. So that motion was made by Commissioner Nigro, seconded by myself, and it was 7-0-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
We'll be in.
Well, yeah.
Treasurer's report.
Okay. For some reason, I don't understand, my laptop should not be on Wi-Fi, but I can give you the amount of our checking account as of January 1st. So we have that, and that's $62,789.54. I don't believe we wrote 2 checks. I can't tell you which is that, because I can't get on Wi-Fi. But, so I'll go into the expenses. Anyone have any questions? Sure.
But Ms. Jenkins, might you be able to help us with the Wi-Fi challenge?
I mean, actually, I am on Wi-Fi, but I cannot. It's just not going through. Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. It just tells me that it just goes to a web page. When I try to go to a website, I don't
I just have to contact IT tomorrow.
Okay, all right. So, I move that ANC 60 reimburse Michelle Nigro the amount of 500.
Oh, no, we did that one already. That's in December.
Oh, yeah.
We did
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry, you did that already. $497 for the February newsletter. And pay Karen Yee, committee ticket in the amount of $125 for the preparation of the open meeting.
Seconded. Been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the part of the commission? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Motion made by Commissioner Chapel, seconded by myself, voted 7-0-0. So,
I was just offering to use my hotspot, that's all.
nice. Appreciate it. All right, any old business? Any new business? Hearing none, our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March the 1st, 2016 at 6 p.m. The ABC Licensing and Zoning Planning Committee meetings will be held on February 25th, 2016, starting at 6 p.m. at 875 Main Street Northwest. Announcements. For those of you that have been following the proposed development of the Eastern Downtown Protected Cycle Track, the second committee meeting is being held this Saturday, the 6th of February at Kip Will Academy, 421 P Street Northwest, starting at 12 o'clock, presentation at 1 o'clock, followed by public testimony. There is a website for the project. If you don't have the information, you can see me at the end, after the meeting, and I'll provide you with the URL for that. Any messages or announcements from Councilmember Allen?
I'm glad you got to me before we got put out.
No, we got it out. We're getting out early.
I have a couple of announcements. I'm Naomi Mitchell with Councilmember Allen's office. So there are a couple of things I want to share with you. First, the most important thing is that this Saturday, Friday morning, our office will be in person over at the Conference Coffee on 7th Street from 8 a.m. to 9:30. Anyone drop in, chat with us about anything you want to talk about. We do that same, this is the first Friday, we do that same schedule every month, first Friday, Conference Coffee. Some of you may know about the initiative Councilmember Allen enacted in his very early days called Books from Birth. It's a program where, amazingly enough, the city will actually pay for a book every month for every child from birth to 5 years old. It's mailed to their house. It's about to be launched this week, and so the pressure is on for people to reach out to families who have children in that age range and get them to get to their library, especially that's an easy one, to sign up, to be on that list, to get those books. Literacy for children starts not really when they get to school, at 3, 4 grade. It's too late at that point for them to go in even. So it starts from the day they hear words. And so there's actually another kind of literacy connection here. We have many, many adults, parents, who can't read. The way it works, children starting out with these books from birth are getting picture books. Parents often can say the picture, what it is. It's connected as a program to the library where they have reading groups for children, their parents to come in each month, and there's usually an adult literacy program somewhere around in that library. So it's a hope that we're also increasing the literacy so that as a child learns, the parent learns. Again, that's called Books from Birth. It launches this week. It's funded. It's about to kick off. The library has a big role in choosing age-appropriate books. So spread the word to anyone you know who has a child to get the child registered so they can get these books free of charge every month. Another thing that's important is that this is a time in the council where all the agencies have to come in front of the council and account for their function, their performance this past year. This is also the time when citizens can come in and ask questions as well. You should let us know if there are particular agencies that we hear about it all the time. We know you have some issues with. DPW, with traffic and parking enforcement, with street alleys, just name it. So part of how oversight works is that if a lot of issues are identified, then that rolls over into the budget season, which follows the oversight. And so it sometimes gets factored into more money for certain things, if that's what the agency says, is stopping them from performing, more people, more slots. So this is important. If you want to know the schedule, go onto the DC Council's, dccouncil.us site, and there's a schedule there of which agencies are up and when. And if you've got any questions, call our office. We'll be happy to help steer you toward whichever session you'd like to attend. One other thing, some of you know that security cameras for private homes and businesses have been enacted, and regulations are in process by the mayor's office. But we want to know if any of you are particularly interested in knowing when those come out. There is a limited amount of money. Please let our office know. We'll get you on the list. We'll let you know as soon as it's possible for you to apply. So again, in this case, it's in Mitchell at dccouncil.us. I'll be around there real quick. And one final thing. The mention of a town hall meeting tomorrow night is focused strictly on homeless services and the connection to affordable. And then some people think there's a relationship between that and crime and crime prevention. So it's at the what's the name of the school? Friendship Chamberlain. We used to call it Edison. Anyway, Friendship Charter School on Potomac Avenue, right directly across from the Harris Theater. That's on Potomac Avenue. And it's from 6:30 to 9. The mayor, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the police, I think Rainier is there as opposed to Broome, and Department of Housing, Department of Human Services, everybody that has any piece in that will be there. It's a chance for you to get out of the area neighborhood and go someplace else and live in somewhere. And so I think that's all. I don't know if some of you watched the conference. They're talking about pot clubs, private pot clubs, for people being able to smoke marijuana and clubs. That's an issue that is very controversial. It's nowhere near being resolved as a level will be. But that is an issue that's going on, that a lot of people are very adamant about trying to get the here. And they use the excuse sometimes to say that a lot of people can't smoke inside of houses they don't own, that they rent, because they may get evicted, because you're not allowed to do it. You're allowed to smoke people, but they can't go outside. And so some people's answer is, go license a car. What happens is, there's usually membership fees, so it's a for-profit arrangement, and people can come to the membership smoking time. So if you are for or against that, you need to speak up to council members at large and to our office. Thank you.
What was your question for Ms. Mitchell?
Yeah, one for the catch for ANC. In November, mid-November, DPR Director Anderson testified before Councilmember Allen. We'd have a report on the N Street Park and improvements. It's now February. Is DPR submitted those recommendations for improving and mitigating problems at the N Street Park?
That question asked at the oversight. I obviously know the act, but I'm suggesting if you want to ask that question by the oversight, that's the kind of question you can ask.
Well, I guess I would suggest that we ask the council to ask on their behalf.
We can do that too.
Everybody can't get to
If you have
every
issues-
performance here.
Yeah, if you have email us. I mean, that's fine. We can hear issues that he should know about. That's at any time. You don't have to wait for oversight. Okay?
And the question for ANC was, I know two groups are going to be testifying at the meeting on Saturday, is the ANC going to be speaking on behalf of your residents and constituents?
I'll be there, but because it cuts through right now through my area,
There
so.
are three commissioners whose project has quite a year.
I plan to testify as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you need to sign in advance to testify?
It's not for you. I'm sorry.
So we actually do have one last piece of commission business.
One comment. Naomi, I would like to suggest that Compass Coffee would be maybe twice a month or whenever you're coming, but there are other people who live in the same city who do not live on Main Street and who cannot get over here and then go get to work and whatever. I'd like to see Charles come to other areas in ANC 6E. You know, this isn't the only place in town.
You know, it's interesting, but there's no center to this community that everyone's comfortable. We tried for several years to try here, try there. Sometimes we got a few. And what we learned is we need to be consistent, for one thing, on where we're going to be, so people know. We'd be welcome to hear any other suggestions, places that you think people would find more centrally accessible or people more
Try to come up with some suggestions. So we actually need to approve the minutes of our January meeting. So I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion that we approve the meeting minutes from last month, with the exception of any typos or
Corrections.
corrections that need to be done.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded, moved by Commissioner Nocita, seconded by Commissioner Wiggins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you very much. 7-0-0. Now, if there are no further announcements, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been properly moved by Commissioner Nocita and seconded by Commissioner Wiggins that we adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you very much. That's unanimous. 7-0-0. This meeting is adjourned at 8:05 p.m. We're done.
I got that.
So happy to see you.